Todderick on the stateofrutgers.com here with Coach Danny George of Long Branch High School. We're here at the commitment ceremony of Ryan Brodie, one of the top offensive linemen in the state of New Jersey. How you doing, Coach?
I'm doing well. It's a
Very
big
good.
day.
Absolutely, absolutely. What type of players Rutgers getting, Coach?
Rutgers is getting, first of all, a solid citizen, a guy that does everything right. You know, is humble, is poised, and most important, very hardworking.
Okay. And as far as on the field, what would you say are his best on-the-field attributes that helped you guys close out the season with 5 straight wins, I believe?
5 straight wins. Ryan's, I think the thing that just pops out with Ryan when you watch him on film and when you coach, he does some things that kids can't do athletically. He's got great feet and he's got great hands. He was a guy, as you know, a 300-pound guy for 2 years, didn't walk off the field. He was the starting offensive tackle and starting defensive end. So, you know, he played hard every down for himself and his teammates, you know, which you see a lot of times now, a lot of people going one way or the other. He knew that we don't have 3 or 4 Ryan Brodies. We, you know, had one, and we needed his presence on the field, and he never came off the field. Didn't miss a snap for 2 years, which is special.
Absolutely. And we were out here last year, Coach, when Miles Schuler chose to commit to Rutgers as well. Talk a little bit about this evolution of Rutgers and landing these players out here on the shore.
I see it, you know, from a coach, you try to be objective and make sure each boy you coach, each young man you coach is focused and is concentrated on how he fits in the universities that he decides. With saying that, I've seen the trend switch a little bit. The recruiting trips that these guys have been on, the people they've been around, the friends that they've acquired all seem to be kind of talking with each other, you know, Facebooking each other, texting each other on, making sure that the talent is kind of going in a certain direction, and I think it's pretty evident with last year's class, this year's class. These guys are all close. I mean, they're talking about guys that, you know, I didn't know who they were before Ryan or Miles said, hey, listen, I was talking to him, and he's not going to Wisconsin anymore. I said, really? You know, I saw the game, obviously, so I know that was a big one for Rutgers as well. But now they're all friends, and I think the trend you see is, you know, Coach Yano doing a great job recruiting, but also the kids at Rutgers recruiting kids to come to Rutgers, you know, so it's even that much better of a sell when it's coming full circle.
Now, Coach George, you're known for having some studs in your stable. Last year, we were here for Miles' ceremony. We were talking about Ryan Brodie. This year, I know you have a youngster named Dwight Clark who's going to be a senior next year. Talk a little bit about Dwight and what's coming up for him.
Well, I'll tell you, Dwight has been the starting tailback for us since his sophomore year. He made a huge jump this year, close to 2,000 yards. We are just so excited about his development. As a sophomore, had the vision, had the strength, had the power. His difference between his sophomore and his junior year, I think, is off and out of season training was tremendous. He came back faster than he's ever been in his life, and you saw that with going from 1,000-yard rusher to almost a 2,000-yard rusher. I think he's a difference maker. He is very difficult to tackle. It's very difficult to get your hands around him. He's a slider. We're fortunate. John Amabile, who's a legend in short conference coaching, was our offense coordinator this year. He's also scout with the Giants. You know, we've done a tremendous amount of game filming on him, and he says, and it's his business because he's a scout with the Giants, he says he sees a lot of parallels to a Ray Rice type runner. Not that he's at Ray Rice's level yet, but he sees a lot of parallels in his running. His vision, if I had to pick one thing, his vision is tremendous.
Okay, and lastly, Coach, just talk a little bit, back to Brodie, talk a little bit about his possible readiness to contribute immediately. I mean, I know there are a lot of people talking out there about him stepping into that left tackle post and immediately, once he sets foot on Rutgers, possibly having the best feet among the offensive line. Talk a little bit about that.
I think that, Rutgers, and people saying that would probably have a better gauge than myself. I know what Ryan is capable of, but I don't know the competition that he's going to be fighting with. I'm going to be honest.
Right.
Do I think if there's a spot there to be taken, I think this young man is mature enough. I believe he's hardworking enough, and I believe he's tough enough. And that's something that's going to have to kind of unfold in front of him. He knows, and we speak all the time, it's going to be a fight. It's going to be a battle every single day, and I know he's mentally knows that, but once that happens, you're never really ready for it.
Right,
So
right.
we're going to find out.
Okay, well, thanks for talking to us, Coach George. This is SOR signing off.